going to begin our meeting. I call this regular meeting of the Rains County Commissioners Court to session. It's April the 9th, 2026. It's 10 a.m. Let the record show that a quorum of commissioners are present. Members present are Northcutt, Young, Cook, and Willis. Judge Hilliard is out of town today. And this meeting has been duly called, and notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551. If you will, let's stand. We'll do our pledges. Mary Christian, would you come after that and do our invocation? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Here we go. Father God, thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you, Lord, for the hearts and for the minds that are in this room, Lord. Thank you for providing this facility for us to get together and to talk about the county and the business of the county. Lord, I want to ask that you be with us today throughout this meeting, Lord. Be with the minds and the hearts of everyone in this room, Lord. Let your will be done. Lord, I want to ask that you be with the soldiers that protect us, Lord. Be with the issues that we have in other countries, Lord. Be with the leaders of this country, Lord, and just let your will be done. Lord, forgive us where we sin. In your most holy name, Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.
We're going to get into our agenda, but with your permission, I'm going to move presentations up first.
Thank you.
And because I know that those of you that are going to speak in public comment, y'all will want to hear this. Y'all will want to hear from these young ladies and these people from CASA. So we're going to go to item 3, presentations. We have Sherry Cockrell from Rains ISD to raise awareness of the local Texas Association of Future Educators, and she has some students with her. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you so much for having us today. I am Sherry Cockrell. I teach at the high school all the education and training courses. Additionally, I am the advisor for the National Honor Society, and I have the privilege of being the teacher leader for our Texas Association of Future Educators, also known as TAFE. I don't know about you guys, but usually when I say TAFE, guess what people start to think about?
Candy.
Yeah, that wonderful candy that we get at the state fair, right? My sister loved that. But TAFE for us is just one of the myriad acronyms that we have in education, and it does stand for Texas Association of Future Educators. We just wanted an opportunity today to let you know a little bit about our organization and what we do. Our job is to prepare kids to move into the adult world and focus on education, but not just that, also on leadership. So when we're talking about TAFE, our structure goes like this. Of course, teaching is very important, and we believe that even if you don't go into the classroom, everyone is going to be a teacher throughout the rest of your lives. You're going to teach someone something somewhere. Mm-hmm. The next thing is recreation, because of course they're teenagers and we all like to have fun. And we believe that you should be able to have fun in the classroom too while you're learning. Next is appreciation. It is so important to us to be able to appreciate the people in our lives. So we learn how to appreciate our teachers, all of our staff, our personnel. We try to do things in the community as well to show appreciation. Fundraising, that's my least favorite thing, and I'm not very good at it, I can tell you right now. But we all have to have money, right? Obviously, fundraising is not that important to me, or I would have gone into a different career. I'm just saying, you know. And then leadership, it's so important to me to invest in these students and have them become strong leaders in their sphere of influence and in their communities. Education, obviously, and then service, which is also a very near and dear place to my heart. We are able to serve all over our district, not just at our campus, but today I have an area officer who wasn't able to be with us because she's on a field trip with the elementary students. I have about 15 students who are doing that. We help with literacy night, we help with math night, we help with Read Across America, whatever it is that they need, they're always going to call on us to be able to help with that, and that's really an honor. And I'm happy that we're able to do it. So it's important whenever we're thinking about that. I want to invest, I want to spark interest in my students, I want to help them be encouraged and do all those amazing things as an adult. I want them to always be a lifelong learner. I want them to do their best whenever they serve. But you know, I'm just one person. So I'm very thankful for organizations like TAPI that help broaden the perspective of our students. Because you know what? I have students who are in TAPI who before they joined and before we began competing, they had never been to a hotel. They had never been to a sit-down restaurant for dinner. One had never even been to Target. She happens to be with me today. So yeah, I'm really happy that education is more than just what you can learn in the classroom. When we go to these conferences, we have area, state, and then national Educators Rising conferences. Students are able to network with other young leaders. They're able to attend all kinds of breakout sessions where they learn more to hone their skills. And also, you'll be interested in this, they get to participate in the political process because they can run for area and state and national offices. So they get to campaign, and they have certain things they have to do in order to get all that accomplished. So they get to see a little bit about how that works, and I think it's good for them on every level, because hopefully that will spark an interest for some of them to come back home and do things like you're doing right now. I think it's amazing. But another thing that's also fun is that we get to compete. Now, for any of you who know me at all, you know that I love to compete. I mean, I'm competitive, that's for sure. I love to compete. But it's even more fun, I think, to watch my students compete. And you know how in sports you have what, 1A schools, 2A, etc., and you compete against those people? Well, it's not like that in TAPI. When we go and compete, we are competing against everyone in the entire state of Texas. It doesn't matter if they're 1A, 6A, does not matter. Our kids have to go against all of those kids. And I'll tell you, I've judged a lot of these competitions. Some of them are in advance. And when I see their videos and they've got all this and that, I'm going, oh man, I don't know where they go to school. They got a lot of money at their school or whatever. But when we get to compete, it's amazing. There's over 37 competitions. They're very rigorous. They're not just something you can go in and do it on the spur of the moment, but they have to prepare for months in advance. Sometimes they have to submit their materials months in advance because things are pre-scored. And they are academic competitions on every level. And I'm happy to say that this year we took 11 students to state. 7 of our 11 students from Rains High School won either bronze, gold, or silver at the state competition. But what's even more crazy than that, we've only been competing for 3 years. I didn't even know there were competitions before I got into the education and training part, because I used to teach English at Rains. And wow, in those 3 years, we have had a contestant advance to nationals all 3 years, which I find mind-boggling. And you know how people say, hey, I can put my kid up against anybody, anywhere, anytime. Well, guess what? I have done that. And they've succeeded. You know, they've come out on top. We have a national winner with us today from lesson planning and delivery in STEM, and she's even on the national website for Educators Rising this year. So it's pretty impressive if you think about it. So I'm very excited. So, without further ado, I'm going to let them talk a little bit I'll come back and just run things there for you. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Leslie, come on up.
Hello, my name is Leslie Mosley, and I'm a junior here at Rains High School. I've had the opportunity of competing for the past 2 years in Taffy, and I have loved absolutely every minute of it. They have provided me with so many different opportunities to learn and grow in my courage, my strength, and so many different skills that will be useful, not only in the teaching profession, but in high school, in college, just throughout my life. I've absolutely loved every minute of it. It has been so beneficial for me, and I was able to be our local Taffy president here at Rains, which has really opened up so many opportunities for me. I've had so many different chances to communicate with those at our school and really just be so much more invested within our school, which really has just helped grow my passion and my love for teaching. I work very closely with one of my best friends, Kimmy Milligan. She is the Area 6 Officer Historian, and we will actually be going to the Officer Area Training Camp later this month, which is just so amazing and so cool to be able to go to talk to so many people, to be able to interact with other officers throughout our state, as well as the state officers who run the camp. And so it is just so fun to be able to just be there, be a part of it, be all in. I've learned so many different things, and being able to talk to other officers and just be fully immersed in our program, it's so cool. I competed, as Ms. Waffle said, in the lesson planning delivery STEM competition last year and was able to advance and win nationals, which is absolutely crazy. I was not prepared at all for that.
Wow.
Did not expect it, but it was so cool just to be sitting in that room with 3,300 people and see my name on that board with my
Wow.
personalized medal just right around the corner.
Wow.
It is so powerful just being able to talk to all those people who have done it for years. The schools have done it for years, the teacher leaders, and then just seeing us being able to accomplish so much just in these past few years. I've loved every minute of it. Ms. Waffle has been such a great influence on me, and she's given me so many different opportunities, which is absolutely amazing.
Congratulations.
Good morning. My name is Sarah Lehman, and I'm a junior as well at Rains High School. Sorry. I compete in so many fields at this high school. I do sports, NHS, student council, all the things. But Taffy has 100% the largest impact on my life and my career at high school and what I plan on doing in the future. It has given me a great idea of what leadership truly is and how to demonstrate it within your lives. I work with all of the officers in the Taffy Association, but I took over the role of vice president working beside Leslie, and they gave me the confidence to go for president of National Honor Society, which I did win, but I could not have done without Taffy. They're so supportive, they have so much grit, a positive attitude in every aspect. We go to different campuses and help out there. They've really just had a great impact on me in general. And Taffy has also helped with things in the classroom, like my writing skills or how well I speak or pronounce words. I'm usually really jittery, not very bubbly, but Taffy has definitely taken me out of my shell. It's given me courage and it's given me the confidence just to come up here today. Really, my competition in general was a 10-minute speech that you had to memorize, kind of like a TED Talk, over your personal experience in education and how you would transform the current education systems into better adapting to students' learning disabilities and building achievement throughout their lives and showing them that they can be the better perspectives that they have of themselves. And it was a lot harder going in than I thought it was going to be. I went into it thinking I was going to write it, I was going to go, but no. I ended up writing a 15-minute speech instead and was stumbling over my words, had jitter, had tapping my foot. I didn't pronounce things correctly. I would speak too fast, and it would have it would have been a little bit more helpful, I think, if I had something maybe to record myself on, just so I could see like where my time was, what is repetitive, how I'm pronouncing things, if I'm tapping, where I'm tapping, is my voice strong enough, do I have enough character, things like that. But overall, Taffy is, I wouldn't change it. Taffy is great, and it's definitely the better part of myself. And the confidence that my group gives me is mind-baffling. It's going into state. I came out of that room and I was just in tears. I thought there was no way I could. There was no way. And they were so encouraging. They were like, "Don't give up. You've got this." Ms. Colquitt was right there beside me the entire time. And in the end, I ended up going to nationals. And this summer in June, we headed to Oregon to compete there and represent our school. And I don't think I could have done it without Ms. Cockrell. She's put so much time and so much effort. She's put so much personal funds in general, because fundraising is so hard to do. But no one knows about the event. You know, like she said, they think of a candy. They don't think of what the future of our education is standing in. Like, they don't see the foundation of that. And so she's had to put so much time and so much funds into our competition clothes and what we use for materials, our folders, our binders, how our speech looks, how we're doing everything, and it's just, she's very helpful, and I don't think I could have done it without her.
Wow.
Wow, that was unexpected and precious. So thank you,
Wow.
Sarah. So hopefully you guys can have learned a little bit today about Taffy. You see where we're coming from, what we're doing to represent Rains County and Rains High School. And I hope that you will help us spread the word about what Taffy means and what we're trying to accomplish. Because I feel that it's my job now to help educate everybody else about what Taffy is, and not only to celebrate the students' successes, but to help them have the tools they need to continue them. And may I just have a shout out to Kelly Fuller, because she helped me so much when we got started. Where are you, Kelly? She's so wonderful, and she served as an advisor as we were trying to get the program going, and I don't think I could have made it without her and my other two advisors, Carla Weddle and Janice Rouse, as we were trying to get everything off the ground. They were really an encouragement to me. So thank you for your time. We appreciate the opportunity, and hopefully you've learned a little bit more about Taffy. Yes.
Can we get a picture with you and the girls?
Sure. I forgot to have them bring all their medals and everything. But and by the way, they do have to dress like they're dressed today. That's competition ready for them.
Wow.
They cannot compete in anything other than black. The colors red and blue are the only two shirt colors they can wear. And they have to have heels. I mean, it's pretty strict. And
They look professional.
Yes.
They do.
Okay, let's take a picture with them. I have it for your picture.
Just how your
Y'all come on up here. 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 Okay. Girls are in the middle. All right, girls.
Congratulations.
That's amazing. 3,300 people to see for her.
Ms. Cockrell, thank y'all for coming and bringing these impressive young ladies with you. Education may be makes us think there's hope for education. There's some good people coming up interested in education. All right, we'll move to the next one. Lake Country CASA is here to present a proclamation, Child Abuse Awareness Month.
Good morning.
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 I'll be in the front.
I don't have it printed.
If you don't, that's okay.
We do? Okay. We do have it.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it.
I'll have one of our precious volunteers read it, and then afterwards I'll
What kind of a?
our precious
She
volunteer.
called him precious. Precious.
And then I'll tell you a little bit about CASA. I just forgot my correct classes, so
I understand.
I'm gonna let him read it. I have it on my notes.
Okay, proclamation, Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month, April 2026. Whereas in 2025, the Northeast Texas Child Advocacy Center served 45 children that were victims, or possible victims, of child abuse or neglect in Rains County, and has served more than 11,800 child victims in Northeast Texas since 1998. Whereas in 2025, the Lake Country Court appointed special advocates, CASA advocates, for the safety and well-being of 83 children who have experienced abuse or neglect. Whereas trauma from child abuse can result in long-term physiological and emotional and physical effects for victims. Whereas child abuse and neglect are a serious problem affecting every facet of society and every part of our community. And finding solutions requires input and action from everyone. Whereas protective factors are conditions that reduce risks and promote the social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children. Whereas our children are our most precious gift and our greatest responsibility and will shape the future of our state and our nation. Whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse, bring justice to victims, facilitate healing from trauma, and ensure the well-being of children and families in a stable, nurturing environment for future generations. Whereas awareness and prevention programs are the most effective solution for children and families when the community works together toward a shared goal. Whereas impactful child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnership among local governments, schools, churches, law enforcement agencies, child welfare boards, child protective services, court-appointed special advocates, child advocacy centers, prosecutors, medical professionals, mental health professionals, and other service-based, mission-focused organizations. And whereas it is our duty and responsibility to ensure the well-being of the children and families in our community, and when we work together, children can have a safe, happy, and healthy future. Now, therefore, be resolved that the County of Rains does hereby proclaim April 2026 as Child Abuse Awareness Month and urges all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to the mission of providing hope to families and improving the quality of life for all children. Thank you.
Thank you,
Eric, can we
Eric.
make,
Prepare him for that. So.
can we have that back? We may want to sign it.
That's
I know you're precious, but
Good morning. My name is Sarah Goggins, and I am the program director with Lake Country CASA. And on behalf of CASA and the Northeast Texas Child Advocacy Center, the Child Welfare Board, and 4Kids, 4Families, we just want to thank the court for adding us on your agenda today and for recognizing April as Child Abuse Awareness Month. For those of you who may not know, CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. We are an organization made up of volunteers from the community who have been court appointed to advocate for the best interests of children in foster care. So what that means is when a child comes in, when a child is removed from their home because of neglect or abuse, our volunteers are assigned to that child. They go into the foster home, they go into the school and get to know that child, check on their well-being, and continue to visit them regularly throughout the case. Our volunteers collaborate with everyone that's involved in the case. So they talk to the child's teachers, their counselors, sometimes their doctors, caseworkers, foster parents, biological parents, and then they testify in court about the child's well-being and express any concerns that they may have about the child in early days. Just to reiterate what was in the proclamation last year, CASA served 83 children in Hawkins, Rains, and Franklin counties. And an interesting fact is because our volunteer advocates are appointed as guardian ad litem instead of an attorney, we estimate that we've saved those 3 counties over $75,000 last year. And also, in addition, the Northeast Texas Child Advocacy Center served 45 kids right here in Rains County alone. So as you can tell, we're doing great work. We're making a big difference in the lives of children and families in this community. And I just want to encourage you, not just in April, but throughout the year, to get involved, to learn the signs of abuse and neglect. If you see something, say something. And I encourage you, if you see a family that's struggling, to help them find resources that can help. And let's all do our part to make sure that children grow up in families where they feel safe and supported.
Thank you. Do you have some other members of CASA or people that work with
Can I bring
CASA?
all the different children organizations up?
Yeah, just have them stand. Yeah. Oh, Precious coming up.
Oh, Precious.
You're never gonna live that down.
We only have 2 male volunteers, so they are very precious.
You can introduce them and what area they're in. It'll be fine.
So everybody except the lady in the white shirt is CASA. This lady's from 4 Kids, 4 Families, which they are the caseworkers for the children that we serve. He's CASA. And then
Northeast Texas Child Advocacy Center.
Advocacy Center, Princeton.
Cortez.
We're hiding. You want to? Yeah, we'll get behind you guys. Short ones in front. You know who you are.
Oh, also, just to let y'all know, Eric is not only a CASA volunteer, but he's also one of our youth members. He is very passionate. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all so much. Appreciate it.
Any more pictures?
That's it.
Okay.
Listen, the girls is already.
Oh, they do.
Can you imagine waiting for half an hour? Jeez. I know.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, girls.
Okay, we're going to go into public testimony now. This is the order that they were brought up here. During this period of time, you're invited to address the Commissioner's Court on topics of your choice. Let us know what you think, and we will begin with that. We have to try to stay under 5 minutes or less. Mrs. Rogers, Suzette Rogers.
This will be my shortest one today.
All right.
Sorry.
Just next one. Suzette Rogers, 1960 Lawrence County Road, 3425 for sure. So I'm going to bring this up every time until Judge Hager takes it back, but I want to keep it on record. he was supposed to find out how many residents were in the 2-mile radius of the proposed best facility. You guys heard anything yet? Okay, well, I'll keep asking until he gets back, just to make sure. Just going on
You'll
record.
have to ask him.
Well, I don't know, maybe he shared it yet.
No,
so
he hasn't.
I thought I'd ask.
Not with me.
Okay, and the other thing is, we have found out recently, and I want to share with you guys, that because of the BEST facility and the transmission lines that it's going to take to transmit the power through there, we have heard that they're going to eventually, I don't know when, put in huge towers in, somewhere between 15 to 18 stories tall through that area. That's a lot of dirty electricity that's going to be coming through there. You know, I don't know if you guys have read things, but 40 years ago, my father-in-law lived, when he moved to Mesquite, where we're from, he wouldn't live anywhere where there were power lines because he was concerned about cancer. Well, there were power lines around a lot of the schools, and the schools in Mesquite have those power lines have a huge increase of cancer in those students. So what happened 40 years ago actually has come to fruition. So I'm concerned that power lines through that area, being that tall and the amount of electricity that are coming through there, is going to cause an increase of cancer or whatever other things. So I'd like you guys to be aware of it, and maybe we need to start researching that as well. We started out with solar, battery storage, now huge transmission lines. This isn't going away, and we need to be aware of the safety of all the citizens, another safety issue. That's it.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Perkins.
Hello, Rains County. I have some good news.
All right, we need it.
As you know, RainsCountyRadio.com became a member of the Sister Cities organization, and we are reaching out to different cities in different countries. For example, as I mentioned, Japan, maybe do a beef exchange, olive oil from Italy, and we have a city in Poland that we've been official negotiations with. And I wanted to let you guys know that, because usually how that happens is a city official will go over there and one of them will come over here just kind of look around. And their mayor is very excited about Rains County. Of course, when I put the list on there, what Rains County, I put that we're the Eagle capital of Texas. And I don't know where I go out to where they say that it is. I don't see anything going on. I have an idea that might be, first of all, very cheap to do. It's at least, the roads and bridges, you're cutting down trees, I guess, every once in a while. Why not haul them out over there, build like a log cabin observation, and at least you have a structure there that looks like something's going on. And then when you get tourists and everything going there, you can reincorporate the money and stuff on that. And it's too bad the Taffy ladies left, because the town is called Szczecin, by the way. It's in the southeastern part of Poland. That's on the near Belarus and Ukraine. They don't have a school cheerleaders because they don't do that stuff. But they do have a club team that won their national championship and their European championship for doing cheer. Believe it or not, that's very popular over there. Bring them over here, do a cheer camp, and you're going to attract a lot of other cheers to come here to Rains County. It'll benefit them, because if the school's pulling it off, they can do it, and be good for the economy, because you're going to have a bunch of people coming here and staying here. Now, I know we only got 2 hotels to do that, but if you organize it right with camping areas and Airbnb, I think everybody could benefit from that. That's just one thing. I worked with the Sister Cities program in Baltimore, and that's probably one of the best examples of them executing it right. Like, for example, their sister city in Japan, they do a restaurant exchange. There's a Japanese restaurant in Baltimore called Kawasaki, which is their sister city, and then they have a restaurant over there. And if we did that with this town in Poland, very easy to do, because just 20 minutes away is one of the largest U.S. airport bases that they have in Europe. So you got a big American thing that if you guys did a steakhouse or a barbecue house, whatever that would be, quote unquote, Rains County, I'm sure it'd be a very popular place. I'll send you more information on that. My recommendation as our first person would be Sheriff Hopkins over here to go. Make sure you wear a cowboy hat when you go over there. You know, the image of a Texas sheriff is a big deal. That make a big impression. And then other exchanges, students. For example, the sister cities also have sister schools. So if there's a couple of kids here that want to learn Polish, and eventually we'll do this in Japanese, German, Chinese, and all the other languages, then these kids over here can learn something more than Spanish and French, because they would be Skyping their teacher in the other city going on. But I'll send you more information on that. Lastly, I believe we had a discussion about tunnels underneath to go under. Actually, I presented the idea to the city of Emory in 2021, and I have the information that I sent them on how to finance it, all the tunnels, equipment, and stuff that goes on, how to do that. Besides building a tunnel system that can bypass the people that really don't need to stop here and everything, which, by the way, you can have a toll that when they go through, you're collecting money underneath it. And I'm sure a lot of truckers and everything would pay that. But while you're building the tunnel at Cloverleaf, you could do a subterranean and have almost a city underneath the city where you could have shops, apartments, and everything. Plus, the air below there is, at least in Rains County, because it's different in any part of the country, I believe it's 58 degrees. You could pump that air up here, you wouldn't need to use your air conditioning because you have the cool air up there. All you need is a fan is to blow it up here. So that would help reduce the energy costs for everybody. It's not only a matter of making power, but also to save. How much time do I got? Perfect.
That's it.
You were perfect.
Uh,
You rehearsed that. Thank you.
No, I
So,
didn't actually. It was spontaneous.
just, you want to leave?
Yeah,
Would
we
you
Let's
got
look
like
at-
to see this?
You can
I don't
leave.
have the email, but I went over there to the city.
Yeah, leave the tunnel.
Okay, and also there's a little bit of information about sister cities. I'm really big on that.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
All right, good luck, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, next, Holly Miller.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're like a group effort here.
I'm gonna go get that stuff.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mine's very scripted because I was just so off task and start talking to y'all about everything else. So I'm just
You
going
need to speak closer in the microphone.
Yep, turn it towards you.
just going to read this out. My name is Brittany Hughes, and I'm an active duty service member, mother of four, and the founder of Gunner's Mission Pet Sanctuary. This is my friend and co-founder, Holly Miller, a licensed dog trainer and currently owner of a sanctuary, dog sanctuary in Toronto, Canada. What brought us here today and what truly fueled this mission was the search for my daughter's service dog. Since my daughter was first born, she's faced significant medical challenges, including 4 brain surgeries for an incurable illness. We have experienced firsthand the life-changing impact a dog can have, not just as a companion, but as a source of stability, comfort, and healing. He was a family member, and he was her best friend. I immediately turned to the internet begging for help, and some of the comments I received from local citizens said this is nothing new and he was probably dead. We hired the most elite dog tracking businesses in the state, and they searched without a sighting. Gunner has now been deemed stolen, not dead. It has been so hard to watch my daughter suffer without her best friend in a new town where she knows nobody. What started as a search for Gunner quickly opened mine and Holly's eyes to a much bigger problem. In the first few days of searching for Gunner, we encountered over 100 dogs between 3 properties and 2 main roads. This isn't an isolated issue, it's consistent and it's growing. In rural communities like ours where resources are limited, the problem compounds quickly. It takes time away from the sheriff's department. I'm sure they have much better things to do than answer dog calls. And it adds a liability risk to the county. When shelters are full or unavailable, the animals don't just disappear. They end up on our roads, on our properties, and in some cases they become a risk to public safety and livestock. At the same time, across our country, we're facing another crisis that's very near and dear to my heart, our veterans. Many of my brothers and sisters are struggling with PTSD, isolation, mental health challenges, and research shows that dogs can reduce symptoms of PTSD, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. This mission connects multiple realities. Gunner's Mission and Pet Sanctuary is not just an animal shelter. It's a structured nonprofit focused on rescue, rehabilitation, and redeployment, with an emphasis on serving veterans, children with disabilities, along with giving citizens of Ravens County a sense of safety while reducing the liability for the county. What sets us apart is that we're not just taking dogs in, we're moving them through a system. We've been coordinating with transport services to move dogs out of this county and even out of our state to areas where adoption demand is higher. That means we are not just housing animals, we are actively reducing the population here. With a licensed dog trainer on site, we ensure dogs are properly rehabilitated and set up for successful placement. Select dogs could be trained for community support roles, giving them a continued purpose while also benefiting the community. This is something I'm personally invested in. I'm actively working to secure land adjacent to my property and build out this vision. I've already begun outreach within the next of kin to make that happen. Currently, I'm asking for the county's support to help bring this solution to life. Specifically, guidance and assistance in securing land and zoning approval for the land next to mine. If that land is unavailable, we still need land, so I will be needing assistance there. And then consideration for funding and grant opportunities. We do have a grant writer who is willing to write for grants to support all of our endeavors and support animal welfare and community safety initiatives. So this isn't just an investment in a nonprofit, it's an investment in public safety, community well-being, educating the citizens of responsible pet ownership, and a long-term solution to a growing problem that is not going to fix itself. I am committed to doing this the right way in partnership with the county in a way that creates measurable impact. There is nothing like this in the state of Texas as I am envisioning. We welcome any of you to discuss the programs offered by the organization. This problem exists today and the solution is already in motion. This isn't just about rescuing animals, it's about saving lives on both ends of the leash. Paula, do you have anything to add?
I just wanted to add in that education is so important for people to know about dogs. We want to partner with a lot of vets in the DFW area where they would possibly spay and neuter for free. That would be interesting.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with this. Sounds promising.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
So I just talked to Franklin County, and Franklin County took over an old veterinarian. They gave it to the city of Mount Vernon. So the city of Mount Vernon, PAWS, I'm not for sure if that stands for PAWS, for cause, I'm not for sure, but it's called PAWS there. And the county all went together and divided everything into thirds, and they were able to put in a shelter. So with spade neutering and things like that. So, but the problem here was we didn't have a venue, if you will. So, but it sounds like you're willing to do that.
I have big dreams, if y'all see
Yeah.
the facility that
Yeah.
I'm wanting to put in, and obviously it would be in phases.
Yeah.
The idea is to not just I want it to be a no-kill shelter. Obviously, Holly and other dog specialists would evaluate. Like if there is a dog that cannot be rehabilitated, there are consequences, and we aren't thinking that every dog is perfect. But the goal is to rehabilitate them and get them back to a place where they can be a sense of comfort and get them back out. But no dog will leave our facility without being fully vaccinated, vetted, microchipped with a registered owner, which holds people accountable. So if their animals get out and attack somebody's livestock, which we've gone door to door, and goats being massacred, nobody's responsible. So there's not going to be any more of that if it comes from our facility. They will be registered to an owner, and they will be fixed before they leave our facility.
Thank you for bringing this to the attention.
Yeah.
Your time is up, but thank you. Brittany Hughes.
That's her.
That's her.
Technically,
Did I get y'all?
we had to do it too.
Okay. Good. Y'all tag team this. That's the way to do it. Jay Ford.
Good morning, Rains County. Jay Ford, 4109 FM 515 here in Emory. First of all, Brittany, to you and your husband, thank you very much for your service. I know y'all have dedicated a lot to this country, and I think, this country and especially this county, owe y'all a lot back. We all know, two of the hottest topics in Rains County right now, the renewable energy, solar farms are best, that's one of them. The other one is some form of animal control, pet adoptions, that's been a hot topic throughout the election cycle. I had the opportunity to talk to Brittany, for probably about an hour and a half the other day. I know, Commissioner Cook, I think Eric, a lot of people have had a conversation with her. I will say, I don't impress very easily on first conversation. This young lady did. You can see what she and Holly and others have put together in a month. Really, this vision has not been something that she has been working on for years and years. This really came about, when Gunnar went missing. And so, that level of effort and dedication that she's put into this, I would say we have a crisis, we have a problem, we now have a solution. This is something that is definitely doable. It's a solution. It covers all the bases for everything. She's got one problem, the way I see it, money, right? And I know we have no money in the budget. This is going to be that situation. But what I wanted to do is come here today and publicly say I'm supporting them. But as the commissioners and the judge, y'all have influence. As citizens of Rains County, you have influence. And that's what I think that we really need to ask is, how can, this commissioner's court, how can we, reach out to the citizens of the county? How can we use the influence that we have to try to make this vision a reality? Sure, is it a big dream? Yes. It's going to come with a big price tag, absolutely. But I think, we need to figure out a way, think outside of the box, how do we support them, right? And we can't physically support them maybe with a check from Rains County to do this, but how can we influence? We know we're influential. We know people in the county that can help, whether it's in fundraisers, private donations, whatever. So that's my ask is that we band together and figure out a way that we can help and make this reality. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And last but not least, Angela. Good morning.
Good morning. Angela Gregor, it's 109 Rains County Road 3360. The Rains County Safety Coalition was invited to the Texas State Capitol for the Texas Senate Business and Commerce hearing on securing critical infrastructure and supply chain integrity on Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. The committee's objective was to evaluate the integrity of the Texas electric grid supply chain and identify vulnerabilities related to hostile foreign nations, such as China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran. The Electric Reliability Council of Texas, ERCOT, Public Utilities Commission, PUC, Dr. Emma Stewart, some of whose testimony before the United States House Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party I shared with you previously, and Dr. Friend were among those present to testify. While the Lone Star Infrastructure Protection Act, passed by the Texas legislature in 2021, prohibits foreign hostile nations like China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran from connecting to the Texas electrical grid, Mr. Seeley, ERCOT's attorney, acknowledged they are not verifying the attestations for renewable energy companies
claiming not to have parts from these hostile nations, as ERCOT does not have boots on the ground. They just take their word. And in some companies require a signed contract not to look inside the equipment, or you'll get sued for breach of contract. Senator Colhurst held up a chart from ERCOT with a pie chart showing 99% of the supply chain coming from China and 1% from Russia. On another page, it revealed Iran's involvement. According to the Public Utilities Commission Representative Ms. Corona, PUC investigates on ERCOT's recommendation. Dr. Emma Stewart, Chief Power Grid Scientist of Idaho National Laboratory, testified regarding national security implications of battery energy storage systems, transformers, inverters, and hostile foreign nations, and the credible and evolving threat from the People's Republic of China. She worked on Salt Typhoon, which was PRC's pre-positioning and gaining foothold here, and Volt Typhoon, which is PRC's surveillance and data collection, which together they have demonstrated both capability and intent on unprecedented scale to harm our energy systems that we rely on. If it has a communication system, we consider it at risk, whether they attest to it or not. Dr. Brent Friend testified, shared a chart, and said, I printed this off, it's not a very copy of it, but he shared this chart and he said, orange is bad. The orange in this chart represents the inverter market concentration of China for wind, solar, and battery storage in Texas. An inverter is a key piece of equipment in renewable energy systems, wind, solar, and battery storage. The Lone Star Infrastructure Protection Act, passed by the Texas legislature in 2021, prohibits foreign enemy countries like China, Iran, North Korea, and Russia from connecting to our electric grid system. Let's do our part here in Rains County to follow the Lone Star Infrastructure Protection Act and protect our local energy from foreign hostile nations. Thank you for hiring a fire marshal. Now let's form a 391 commission with Van Zandt County. And Rains County Coalition, Safety Coalition meets tonight, if anyone's interested.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Is that everyone? Did I miss anyone? Or is there anyone left? Okay, thank you. We're going to move to new business, consent agenda. Is there any of those that you would like to pull out, discuss? I know the approval of accounts payable is $287,633.86. We don't have any line item transfers I saw. I noticed that Sarah's here. Have you got anything you'd like to add? Okay. I know they're getting geared up for the fair. A lot of things are beginning to come together for that. If there's nothing else, I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion. Need a second?
Second.
Got a motion, a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. We'll move to the action items. Discuss and take action designating the HR coordinator as the sick leave pool administrator. I think someone else did that, and
When payroll was done in the treasurer's office, it was automatically assigned to Teresa as treasurer. But since payroll is in HR and it is separated out now, Stacy will be assigned to that.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to designate the HR coordinator as a sick leave pool administrator.
So moved.
Got a motion?
Second.
And a second. All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Discuss and take action to accept and record 16 hours of continuing education credits for Judge Brent D. Hilliard.
I'll move to enter those into the minutes.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Discuss and take action on removing, repairing the windows in the courthouse. Lori.
Okay, that's me, yes. So understanding, I know all of y'all can see that fee, but because the courthouse is 117 years old right now, we have to hire people that can officially put a historical stamp on their work. And let me say, Christy Hopkins, she pointed that out and she was correct. The materials that were used on the courthouse 16 years ago when the courthouse was revamped. I lost my words. Remodeled. The correct wood was not used. So Phoenix, which is very reputable with the Texas Historical Commission, they came out, gave us an estimate, looked at everything, also looked at architects, the engineers that came out and did an estimate that we paid for all the repairs that, we just have kind of slacked on keeping up the repairs on the courthouse. So the first thing I feel like needs to definitely be repaired are the windows. If you have looked around, if you have not, you're welcome to go and look around before you leave today, and you'll see a lot of the windows are completely rotted. And I don't know how some of the glass hadn't fell out, but talking with the auditor, and Cammie can chime in there, but I believe we do have the funds to take care of that. It was set aside knowing that we were going to have to do something about the courthouse eventually. I'd like to also repair some of the flooring up here, but it's not in the budget. So anyway, am I correct on that, Tammy?
Yes, ma'am. During the budget process, you requested $150,000 for historical repairs for the building, so it is set aside.
I did also send another email just a few minutes ago about if his name is Dale Sellers or Kyle, forget his last name, but he sent a little bit more details. It's very costly to do this. It's pretty amazing to me. I never dreamed it would cost so much, but there's a lot of safety things barricades they have to put up while they're repairing windows, blah, blah, blah. So, and the wood has to be 100 years old where they replace the windows. That wood has to match what we've got. And why a lot of it has lasted so long. But back in, they were a little appalled also at the wood that was used 16 years ago. So kind of disappointing. And they knew who they were. So anyway, they would like to fix that. That would include everything to make it look just like it does now, all the other windows.
All the painting and
the painting,
caulking and everything.
Caulking, everything. Right. That would fix the, what is it? I think it's 20 windows. Am I right about that? Yeah.
Would it also help that? I guess it would. Under the windows where
the sashes.
Yes. where it's peeling off.
Right. If you'll notice in where it talks about paint window exterior and replace perimeter sealant at the NS, I'm not sure what NS means, evaluations, there's 45 windows that are included in that. So we are in need of repair.
Since it's over 100,000, do we have to get a second bid?
Because it's historical commission, we do not.
Is there another company that does do it that we?
Yes, but there would probably not be any difference in price.
And they have to be approved through the Texas Historical Commission.
There's still a lot of paperwork. If we approve them today, we still have to ask for permission for them to be able to come do it. But they are right now they're at the Real Places conference right now. So they repair the Capitol. So they are kind of the big wigs of it, but they're the only ones that responded back to me. So that's why I chose them. And obviously you can get more bids, but I'm sure they'll all be about the same because there are, and a lot of companies
It's a specialized.
that specialize in this, correct, and know exactly what to use. They did send this back. I asked them how quickly could you get on the windows, and they said 2 to 3 weeks after you approve. So, which I thought that was kind of a plus. I figured we were going to have to wait months because
Probably be a good time. Maybe we'll get into the summer. And won't be raining on them every day.
right. Right. So it's up to y'all. I don't know that finding someone else with their credentials, because I really thought our maintenance guys could do it, and it can't be done. So there's just too much paperwork that has to follow up. With the courthouse being, well, in 3 years it'll be 120 years old. So that's old. Anyway, I'll let y'all cipher that out and look at it and see what you think. Or if you'd like for me to make a motion that we approve
You can
this,
do that.
okay. I would like to make the motion that we approve the windows to be repaired throughout the courthouse. And for transparency, let me get to it, and I will tell you how much that is going to cost. The money has been put aside from the last budget, so everyone knows that ahead of time.
Not last budget, this budget.
Yeah, this budget year.
This budget, but what we approved last summer, right, for this year, right. The cost is, okay, well, why is it not in there? Maybe it's up here. Here it is. Sure.
Okay, so, since you did find out that they used the wrong wood.
Yeah.
It should be their responsibility to repair that, and the grant is coming up for the courthouse, it's due in May. Where since we did find out they used the wrong wood, we can apply, and it's a 50-50 match.
Okay.
So it would reduce our cost by 50%.
Okay.
And then, if that is true, that they can prove they used the wrong wood, other people should be responsible for that.
Yeah, for repairing it. Do you think there's a problem with it being 16 years ago? No?
No.
Okay.
Not that since you found out they used the wrong wood.
Okay. Yeah, they did mention that. That's why I brought you up, because I appreciated you noticing that. And anyway, so we can hold off on this if you think that there's a possibility that might happen.
I think that we should apply for the grant and talk to the historical people, because we previously talked to them and they said that if that is the case, then it should be the responsibility of whoever.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, then I retract that motion. Okay, let's do that. Thank you.
Do we need to put it on the next agenda? Would that be, when is that grant?
It's due in May, so we can go ahead and put on the next agenda to talk for it.
Okay.
We've
And
already been talking to,
Christy, if you may, how long does it take to find out about if we would receive the grant? I apologize, I forgot. If we find,
I'll have to look it up. I mean, it's usually like 30 to 60 days.
Oh.
But I don't know, I haven't applied for this.
oh, okay.
Casey, would you put this on the next agenda? Repair windows on the courthouse. All right, we'll not take any action today on this topic and push it to the next agenda. Number 4, discuss and take action approving approval of Hooten's Lawn and Tree Service to replace sprinklers in flower beds around the county courthouse with a drip line. What you got on that, Corey?
So I'm going to say I'll make a motion to approve that, and then as soon as I second it, I'll tell you all about it. Then we can.
I will second that for sure.
Okay.
So the reason this came up again, courthouse maintenance things. When you see around the outside of the courthouse and the texture there peeling off, it was brought to our attention that the consistent water from the sprinklers is what's corroding the outer bottom of the courthouse there. So we were advised that the best option would be to put a drip line in there to be able to water the flower beds without further damaging the courthouse. So I reached out to Hooten's Lawn and Tree Service, who takes care of our courthouse area, the flower beds. The majority of our lawn care needs in the county, and he came back with a bid of $2,890. He's familiar with the system. He's been repairing it for us as needed over the last 3 years, and this was the price that he gave us to come in and remove the sprinklers and replace it.
I'm assuming that's why we don't have flowers everywhere.
Right? His request was that this get done before he plants new flowers,
Right.
so that we don't destroy the flower beds in the process. So, if approved, he'll get in there, get it fixed, and then get our regular spring looking flowers put back in and make it beautiful again.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Ready to vote? Any comments? If not, all those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Number 5, discuss and take action to approve application and fee schedule associated with building permitting and inspections. That is for our new fire marshal.
Yes.
Connection with that.
And you'll see Casey sent the most updated version, was emailed to us just before court. There was a couple of changes that we had made previous to last court, and in our folders, we just had we didn't have the most updated copy of that. So the email that she sent us before court has the fee schedule that I would like us to consider today. Again, this is for commercial properties and multifamily housing outside of the city, but inside of the county. This is not your residence. This is not your personal residential properties. Commercial properties, multifamily housing.
It's mass gathering permits. It's
Which Commissioner Cook brought that up this morning to me as we were looking through it. And if I recall, there was a conversation previous at a previous court, and probably been sometime in the last year or so, maybe slightly longer, where I could be wrong, but I believe Joe and the sheriff both had a little bit of we're talking about doing something like that for mass gatherings, right? Where we knew approximately how many people were coming. I think we're talking about ingress and egress.
That was probably 2 years ago with the
Yeah.
eclipse.
And so this is another one of those things where I see nothing wrong with it. Where if we're going to have these big, massive gatherings, why shouldn't we be made aware? The sheriff's department be aware. Again, if something were to happen, you kind of know what you're getting into. You know who your point of contact is. Our emergency management coordinator would be in the know. I think it'd be good for our fire department to know. And again, Rains County is not the Rains County it's always been, right? It's growing. And I think this is another one of those situations where we have to get ahead of this and mitigate any potential problems that we could see coming in the future.
Mr. Young, can I add something to that?
Absolutely, Sheriff.
One thing I remember is we had a party on 47, and it was supposed to be organized with 100 people. All their friends searched social media, and then we had 1,500 people out there. A big fight breaks out. We got 3 deputies. I get a call from home. We got the 3 of us to handle that. We had cars everywhere, so if it was an emergency response, it was fire and ambulance. There's no way to get people out of it. The other concern we had when we addressed was that they hired security out there men carrying guns who don't have a license to carry guns security. So all I like to do is talk about having some of that area. If they're going to have a certain amount of people out there that require to have their own security and have to be licensed by the state. That can be a huge problem or something.
Sure.
That's not included in this,
It's
what you're proposing.
that aspect of the details is not.
Just the
And
fees.
again, it's kind of, I feel like it's always carts and horses, chickens and eggs, right? I feel like we have to get some type of permitting in place, and then we'll have to figure out the policies that we need to change a little bit to be associated with that. And my ideas, and Commissioner Cook ran a bunch of great questions. He's not good with great questions much, but he did this morning. Lots of great questions where it's, hey, well, what if this? Well, hey, what if that? You know, and at the end of the day, if we go ahead and pass this, my goal then is to get with the fire marshal, right, and probably sit down with Joe and the sheriff and look at this together and say, hey, you know, if this is the type of permitting we're going to see, whether it be renewable energy projects or mass gatherings or, you know, whatever it is, I think it's where we're going to have to sit down and kind of come up with some things and say, hey, if we see this, what are we going to require? Hey, how would we work through these certain things to make sure that we all align the same and know how that communication goes. So I would ask that at this time, and I know we did this 2 weeks ago, Commissioner Cook said, hey, I want to get some feedback on it. So I would ask at this time that we go ahead and approve the application and fee schedule associated with the building permit and inspections. Okay. As presented.
Before we go on, can I also ask too that if this happens, can we not do interlocal agreements with the cities? Because of the one thing that stands out to me are fireworks stands, that there are some cities that permit fireworks stands in their city, and I don't know that they're governed at all. So
by statute,
yeah,
I don't know that that's an option.
oh, okay,
I think that's something, if we establish this, then you have that conversation.
okay.
But I don't think it's of good practice for us to go ahead and say they're not doing anything about it, so we should.
Well,
it's a conversation.
Yeah, I just
Okay. Did you make a motion?
Yes.
Okay. Before we vote, we've got two ladies here that want to say something. Suzette had her hand up first. Go ahead.
What's considered mass? What kind of number are you starting at, just so people know?
I don't have a number.
Okay.
I think that's a communication thing.
Okay.
What do you think mass is?
Well, like Texas law on what a right is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's something we have to talk about and figure out what communities comfortable with what they define as mass. Because where I came from, where I retired from, mass was 15,000 people at Harvard, City Collegeville. So here, when they do less than that, I think we need to have a conversation.
Okay.
Angela?
I guess that will kind of address my question too, because I'm wondering if I have to come to you to ask permission to have a family reunion at my house.
Well, how big is your family?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm asking. So I couldn't, how many could just say, I couldn't.
1,500 was
It
that?
depends. I was being facetious when I said that. When Texas defines law, they arrive. How many people across there arrive. I think it's something we should look at and talk about on what the county for something with mass. And then I think if you're talking about family reunions, I don't know if that even.
Or weddings.
Weddings.
Thought of that.
We're gonna have more problems with that, right? And we already tried to get.
Those wild church weddings.
Absolutely.
And you gotta think about it, when you have this mass gas concept, and they have emergency, what demands of our response, law enforcement, medical needs, whatever. And we set up for that, we don't have a plan for that.
I'm not complaining, I'm just asking for a number. And I can tell my family they can't come.
I'm also just going to go real quickly back to, I think that's the difference in residential and commercial.
Right.
So when you see this, it says things like carnivals, fairs, public gatherings, not family
Not private
things.
gathering.
Yeah. I mean, this is talking tents and stages and that kind of thing.
Yeah, protests in the county, sometimes protests that, 50 people, we probably don't know that it's very important.
Good explanation, thank you.
Okay. Go ahead.
You talk about the solar farm. I actually believe we have an application in place now
Thought
for events like that.
Yeah.
From the solar, I mean, the eclipse.
Yes, it was put together during that time
Mhm.
because of some need that was recognized then. I don't know if it was approved or brought to the commissioner's court or not. It was just something that we presented to some people that were putting on events that we needed to have information and consult with the sheriff's department. So we've got something in place now. We may want to revisit
Mhm.
that and make it official.
So what I would like to do, and I think I remember us having that discussion. I don't know that the court ever made a decision on that. So what I would like us to do is, if we approve this again, I want to get Mr. Shedd, myself, you, sheriff, probably Darren Renshaw with the fire department, and just kind of sit down and meet him, talk about him. What's our goals, right? What's our goals? And I think this has to be a pretty unified front and decision on this, because that is something where I feel like it's going to be a lot of working together on, not on a lot of stuff, but there's going to be a lot of overlap, I think, in there. So if this gets approved and we move forward, then that's a sit down for us.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
And a second. All those in favor of the fee and application presented, raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Item 6. Discuss and take action to assign office space for county buildings. That raises its ugly head again.
Not today. We're gonna chop the head off the serpent today. Here we go. So as discussed last court, Commissioner Willis had a great idea. He said, "Who needs the most space?" Undoubtedly, it's the sheriff currently. I nominated Commissioner Cook and I to meet with the sheriff and have a discussion. Discussion was had. So I have a suggestion. I have some ideas. So I can make that in the form of a motion, or we can just have a conversation about it.
Well, I'll nearly agree to anything as long as this doesn't show up on the agenda again.
So let's do this.
Agreed.
I'm fixing to make a motion. If I can get a second, then I'll ask the sheriff to come up. We'll have a little conversation, and then we can either it'll pass or we get shot down. So currently over there in that office, or in that building across the street, we have 7 full offices and then a reception area. When you walk in the front, there's a foyer, big open glass, probably a, what do you say, Joe? 10 by 12, 8 by 12, something. Yeah. Office, little reception area right there. I'm going to make this in the form of a motion. My motion is this, is that in that area, 3 offices specifically be retained for our emergency management coordinator, an environmental officer, I know the sheriff have a conversation about this, and a fire marshal. Those 3, the reception area be made available to Joe's current part-time help, and then the remaining 4 offices to be used as the sheriff sees fit. That's my motion.
Second. We have a motion and a second.
Now, Sheriff, so when we had the discussion of the day, do you mind? Do you want to say kind of what your ideas are? And I know we talked about it, but we also said, hey, give it time to let you mow it over.
Yes, mow it over and understand how it's going to affect how much money it's going to cost us over there. Right?
Yeah.
That's my biggest concern was. I would like to move patrol over there, chief deputy over there, and 1 CID person over there. We talked about maybe possibly making one of those rooms a soft air room for victims. So they're not having to go sit where all the suspects sit. It's going to be more friendly and have better conversations. And I think it'd be more supportive to the victims of what they went through. Mm-hmm. So that's what we discussed. I'm on board with it. Again, the reason I was didn't know about it, thinking, oh my God, I'm going to pay for that grant. That's my concern. Mm-hmm. Just get people over there.
That's a good question. What is the cost moving you over there?
I don't know for sure yet. I put a hard number from Judge here to ask about it, and I said a high number. I'm not going to keep that number because it's going to make me panic. But I think it can be well under that. It's just trying to figure that stuff out. Because of the securities, the cameras, talk to commissioners about it. I don't want the deputies and I to have to get a hot call, I have to go back and lock the door with the key, and if it's go. So there's some
concerns there. I think it's beneficial, that big open room, we use it for training, meetings, whatever else, gives spot for training, so we don't have to keep begging the fire department for a place to train, when we have training classes, so it helps a lot.
How will that free up in the jail where they?
What we'll do in the jail is we'll open office space for jailers to come out on our side, like the captain, maybe a lieutenant or something, just give them more, because right now they're just granted a little control room, and a little closet, that's the, they're all operating out of that. And they're on top of each other, so bring them out and come out, whereas in the CID, we're sitting, give them more room to be able to work a little more efficiently.
The building is pretty much done. There's still a few little bills trickling in. There is still some money available in the future projects line item which we have been funding this all from to help with moving cost, things like that.
Mhm.
I also talked with Jeff Post last night. He said, let him know who's moving in there, what he needs to do. He can have it done by Wednesday. Whatever needs to be done, he can have it done by next Wednesday.
And I think we have kind of a plan, right? I mean, Shane has a pretty good plan for security, where if the deputies get called out and they're in a rush, there's a way to keep them secured. Parking's probably not the best, but we can figure that out. I don't think it's a problem. I mean, Joe said he'll park up front here, kind of leave the back open if necessary. Shane's talked about cameras. I'd like him to deal with Jeff and make sure it's all going to be in a secured network situation there. I think the biggest holdup we've had is what's going there. And now that if we can get that thing cemented in, Jeff jumps in, Shane jumps in, we'll get it taken care of really quickly now.
And that's why I didn't take everybody over there, because I know the park situation. I split it up and we keep.
Thank you, Sheriff. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Casey, do not let anyone put that on the agenda from here on. Okay, thank you. All right, that concludes all of our action items. We will not have an executive session. Is there anything that we need to put on a future agenda besides, other than building office spaces? We're not going to do that one.
Just make sure we have on there to give Christy whatever authority she needs to reach out for that grant on the window thing.
Yeah, we got that one on the agenda. Okay. We didn't ask you if you had anything when we were talking about consent agenda. We saw your report. If there's anything you'd like to add? Okay. All right. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Got a motion, and I'll second it. All those in favor? Motion carries. We're adjourned.